So, welcome to the Wheel of Engagement podcast. We have representation here from Unity, Campaign for Change, our Family Checker team, and Achieve Together. And the theme this month is Family and Friends. We'll do a quick round of introductions. Shall we start with you, Esme?
Hey, I'm Esme.
Tell us a little bit about you. Where do you live?
I live in Hove.
In Hove. And who are you representing?
Achieve Together.
Achieve Together? Nice one. Thanks, Esme.
I'm Elmi. I live in Hooley and I'm representing Achieve Together.
Good old Hooley.
And co-production team.
I'm Sheila. I'm a parent of a young man who lives in Hove.
I'm Michael and I live in South East London and I work for Campaign for Change and Unity.
I'm Julian. I live in South North and I'm representing Achieve Together.
I'm Michael Fullerton. I live in Shoreham-by-Sea on the south coast and I work with Achieve Together, Director of Health and Wellbeing.
Hello, I'm Stephen. I live near Croydon and I'm here for Achieve Together and Campaign for Change.
Brilliant, nice one. So we're here for the next 30 minutes to talk about family and friends, and we've chosen this topic, this theme, this month for December, as we look forward to Christmas and the festive break, and hopefully people spending lots of quality time with their family and friends. And just to, I guess, highlight some key frameworks around family and friends. I'm just focusing on what's going on in both England and Wales, where we support people in both countries. So we have in England the Learning Disability England (LDA), and they have adopted what they've called a Good Lives framework, which is focused on a number of things about making sure that people have good quality of life. This is for people with learning disabilities, on autistic people. A couple of things that will be relevant today is in terms of their framework, focusing on people having good communication and staying connected with their local communities and their families and friends, and also the right to love and be loved. And then with our friends in Wales, there's the Learning Disability Wales strategic plan. And part of that is ensuring that people with learning disabilities have friendships, relationships, and a social life, and also be contributing to their society. And then there's something as well called having a capable environment. So this sort of stems from some work around positive behaviour support, but looking to ensure that for people with learning disabilities, autistic people, wherever they live in what's called a capable environment. So Peter McGill from the Tizard Centre coined this, and this is really looking at one aspect of a capable environment is making sure that people have support to establish and maintain relationships with family and friends. So families and friendships are really important. I was looking at some research, this is Mencap 2016. 45% of people with learning disabilities didn't think they spent enough time with their families. Another piece of research by the Jo Cox Loneliness campaign is saying that 1 in 2 people with learning disabilities experience chronic loneliness. That's quite a stark statistic. So there are challenges often for people with learning disabilities and autistic people in perhaps making friends and keeping friends, but we need to ensure we're doing all we can to make sure people have got good quality relationships with the people that are closest to them. So as part of this podcast, we are going to have some conversations based on questions which are in the bowl, and sort of share this bowl around and just see what comes up in terms of conversations. So Julian, you're first. Make it a good one. So our first question is. Can you handle that?
Yeah.
We've got that. Oh, good question.
Yeah.
Any tips
To
that you might have for making friends and keeping friends?
Keeping friends. Okay, let's start there. Okay. To make friends with this guy beside me, he invited me somewhere, and when he invited me, he was the first person to answer the door. I walked in, and then he introduced himself, and I introduced myself, and then that's how we made friends.
So you made friends, and where did you meet initially?
Bretford Road.
And what's Brickfield Road?
It was a party they invited me to.
So you had
He
a
did.
party.
Yeah, and then he invited me, and then we started chatting, talking, and then that's how we came to be friends.
So what happened then? Did you just click?
We shook hands.
He had them, he was suited and
I was
booted.
pretty tapped by
He had
Suited and booted?
bow tie, he had a tie, he had his hair was nice, invited me, and we chatted, and that's how we came to be friends.
How long have you been friends?
quite
Um,
some time.
A few years, yeah.
Few years.
Yeah.
Closest friend.
Closest friend.
Okay. So what's your tip there for making friends? It's like,
Um,
Making friends with Michael is a gift.
it's a gift.
thanks, Julian.
Oh, that's nice.
That's lovely, Julian.
It's really nice. It's a very kind thing to say. So you made friends by going to a party together.
Yeah, he invited me
I
to a
invited him.
party.
It's like my old place, and
Okay.
I had a party there. Really young. I can't remember how old I was, but definitely in my early 20s. Because apparently I was young. I had my hair done up, and he came to my party. So I'm Julian, as Julian said, and I
Been
shook
friends.
hands. We had a chat, and since then, and then when I moved into my other house, I moved in there, and I got in contact. I was going to go football with Julian. Met up with him at football. I said, "When you come into my house, when you coming, I'm coming." Every Thursday, I remind him at football when we were up at Cheam. Are you going to go football? I'm coming, Mark. I'm coming. And he turned up, and we've been friends ever since. He's a great friend. But the best way to make friends, basically, be nice to each other, be there for each other, keep each other's backs, communicate with each other, be respectful, have good sense of humour, and just basically be kind. Be there for one another. Talk to each other when you're sad. Be there for each other when they need some support emotionally. I'm always there for him, and he's always there for me. He's helped me out. He's really good with my mum. He's a really lovely guy. He's one of my best mates in the company. If not the best.
That's
Got gentle banter even though we support rival teams. I'm a Man United fan. Arsenal fans aren't following that up. So we don't fall out. Some people might have, oh, you beat me in the team. I said we shake hands. We've never had a fall out. We've never had.
So you've gone into the tips around keeping friends, like keeping in touch,
Keep it in touch.
doing things together,
Doing things there together.
Exchange numbers,
exchange numbers.
and we talk. We keep in contact. Even anywhere we go,
We
we
contact.
contact. We never ever miss that. Always
Cool.
on the ball. We always talk. We've got things in common. We have them. We got the same console. And
Plenty.
we
Did you play games together?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have some games we like. We things I like. He likes. We man against both of us.
Yeah,
and Stephen as well.
My girlfriend, my partner likes talking to his partner, and they get on well. His partner
Yeah.
talks to mine.
Yeah.
They have a great friendship with each
Yeah.
other.
My partner.
So you have one friend, and then you widen that.
But I like to wonder, like the
my
work.
partner,
Yeah.
she's something. My partner, she's good. We've been together 30 years, so we know each other inside and out. She's a lovely lady, my missus. I love it to bits.
Brilliant.
Oh, I'm on the. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I've got the similar. I've been with my girlfriend just under 2 years, but we know each other inside out really well. She makes me really happy when I'm with her. She talks to Julian, have a good chat, and it's just really been really going well for me really lately. But Julian being my mate, or my partner's really, she's easy going as well. She's laid back. She's just the best thing that's ever happened to me. And Julian,
She comes to me weekends. It's good because I just love it. Every Saturday she comes, so it's really nice.
Keep in contact. So we'll bring in some other people. So, tips for making friends, keeping friends. Anybody?
Do you think?
Esme, what would your be your top tips for making friends?
To got someone new and like just to chat to them, see what their interests are in that,
Yeah.
and then get to know them a bit, and then if they want to, see them a couple of days after, and that's how you build friendship.
Cool.
Hmm.
Nice one.
Explain that right.
Stephen, anything?
Good tip.
Yeah, I find it quite difficult to make friends,
Yeah.
especially when you've got autism. It's difficult to trust people,
Difficult to trust people.
and it's hard to keep friends as well because if you don't contact people regularly, that you will lose contact with them.
Okay. So, have you got any tips about how you manage that?
To try and make friends, to try and be nice to people, and they'll be nice to you.
Okay.
Treat them like well.
So, but even though it's difficult, do you think for an autistic person it's still important to have friends, or?
It's still important to have some people,
Yeah.
and it's hard to read people as well.
Okay.
You know, facial expressions and all.
Okay. So what support would somebody need around friendships if they were autistic, do you think?
Just probably need more time to get used to them and build up friendship, but probably need more time to do
time.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, good tip. Sheila?
I think there's also an important point here because my son is also autistic, and one of the problems then is if you can go out alone and make friends and go to places, have shared activities, that's one thing. But where Achieve Together are looking after people who can't go out on their own, then the staff need to take much more initiative than at times they do. COVID has been a big problem and everything has sort of stopped. And there needs to be a great deal of effort to get people to places where they can meet people with, you've got shared interests, where they can find activities where people who, like you, can't make friends very easily, but need to be in a place where they can perhaps just do something together so that you can find those shared interests, and then gradually from the shared activity that can build into a friendship. But it does take time. And that needs to then be maintained, not just once, but that it then happens frequently. So the staff need to take a much more proactive role, I think, sometimes in enabling people to make friends who either can't go out on their own or for whom it is difficult. So saying, well, what about meeting up? You met that guy who you enjoyed talking to about football or trains or whatever it was. Shall we see if we can get in touch with him and meet up again so that you can talk again? And that, I think, is an important role that is not always fulfilled as well as it might be. And I think it's now that we're moving out of the pandemic and we can meet up again and we can go out again, that needs to be a real priority, I think, for people who haven't got the abilities that you two have got, perhaps, and Esme as well, of going out and meeting people quite easily and being sociable.
Yeah.
Since I went to the Dragon Cafe, I got a couple of friends there. You know, going to the Dragon Cafe in London.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so people want to know the Dragon Cafe. Do you want to explain what it is?
It's like a group in London. It was near Borough Market, where it was like a drop-in place where people go and they do different activities like arts and different. But then the pandemic came and closed it down, but they'd start it again. But it's not the same one. It's so smaller now, but the people still go there. The same people.
Yeah.
And I got a friend there that I found that I go to Arsenal every Thursday to play football, and he introduced me to do that. So since going to the Dragon Cafe, different opportunities open up, don't they?
Okay. So if you don't mind me saying, so sometimes, Stephen, you find it difficult to make new friends,
Yeah.
but with the Dragon Cafe, how did you come across that?
I was going to this mental health mate walks where they were doing that clapping every week, and some woman there gave me a flyer. That's how I found the Dragon Cafe.
But the walks, you found that yourself,
Yeah, I found that myself.
didn't you go along on your own?
I did go along, but since the pandemic happened, I haven't been back.
No, but to be fair,
Yeah, I went to the walks on my own with people I don't know. And
yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's brave.
It's good.
So there might be some opportunities people can find for themselves, which is amazing. And like I say, with that walk, that led to the Dragon Cafe and other friendships.
And then with that, going to Arsenal every week.
And then Arsenal. So one thing can lead to another thing and lead to other friendships.
And I think the important thing about what you're saying, Stephen, is that you were in a safe place. Your walk was something that was a safe
Somebody
group.
organised it.
So,
and
yes.
I've got mental health issues, and
So that was a safe place where if someone gave you something, you knew that was going to be safe. And that again is, I think, very important, that people go to places that are safe and understand what is or isn't safe.
Yeah.
Especially where they're more able and can go out on their own.
Yeah.
But if they don't understand all those
That's really
complications
important.
of social
public
settings.
place, really. You meet in a
Public
public
place,
where
yeah.
there's people and cameras and stuff.
Yeah, that's what's really important. But that's quite a brave thing for you to do, and quite courageous. But and then to initiate that. But some people wouldn't be able to initiate that. So I think, Sheila, what you're saying about support teams being
And then people need to
proactive,
find out information
creative.
about people, staff have to find out information to help people, don't they?
Yeah,
They have to find places.
yeah.
Just saying about make friends. Are we still on that?
Yes.
We're still on that, yeah.
Well, because, like, I'm transgender, I'm on the same boat as you. Like, you would think it would be easy, but it's not. Because you don't know how they're going to be with trans people. So, for me, like, I'm trying to get more friends, but it's really, really difficult. Because they don't know what to think of you. Because I haven't had like the stuff done yet, and obviously because I've got, a beard, a stubbly beard, which I try to get rid of, and then they just look at you and think, I don't want to be friends with whoever they are. It just makes you think that they don't want to be friends with you because they just don't know what to think of you. And that kind of like makes it really, 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 really difficult in that aspect.
Would you say, as May, then we need to educate more people to know about trans people?
Yes,
It's right.
Yeah.
we definitely do.
Yeah.
In terms of friendships, those sort of like social networks, would you like link in with local transgender support groups or not to see what's out there?
People have been saying about that, but I haven't thought about it.
You haven't done
So I'm not sure if I'd be able to find anyone or anywhere.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but there is groups in Brighton. There's the Clare Project, which is a really good support group for people who are transgender, non-binary. Because in that respect, and this is for support teams and also for you guys, it's looking at what is available in your local communities. What's the opportunities within the wheel of engagement training that we offer to support teams. We focus on something that we called community mapping, which is pretty straightforward. It's looking at what's around in your local community, what's the social opportunities, what's the employment opportunities, and then how does that match with what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in transgender rights, transgender support, then what's available locally. I remember I was speaking to a support worker recently who was quite new to social care, and he's really into fishing in a big way. So then where he works, he was supporting a couple of people who hadn't tried fishing before. They went fishing, they loved it, and now he's reaching out to other homes in the area to see who else might be interested in fishing. So for me, part of friendship is by, that sharing interests. You guys play football together a lot. So looking at people with shared interests and then looking at opportunities in your local community to share that. So support teams need to be really proactive with that sort of stuff. Also bearing in mind, so some people might not be confident or be able to initiate conversations or contact with other people. So it's how we support people to engage when they are somewhere socially. Anything else on that, or should we pick a new question, Michael?
New question? Thanks your turn.
Up to you, Michael. Make it a good one.
Yeah.
What is a good relationship with family? I'd say a good relationship with family is probably keeping in contact with them constantly, because family's important. Because with my family, my family's dwindled, and I've got a lovely family. I like to keep in contact and be there for them, and I'm with my family quite a bit, because obviously my mum's alone and she's needs my support, but we've got a good relationship. I always see my mum. My friends say hi to my mum. My girlfriend said hi to my mum. They get on really well. Julian as well. Julian does as well. And I've got a really close relationship with my mum. And I've also got a close relationship with my auntie as well, my cousins, and also my half brothers and sisters. That were my dad's kids from the previous marriage. So I keep in contact with them. But it's good. It's just good to keep in contact. What is a good relationship with family? I say, getting on with each other, being there. Just basically spending as much time as you can with them, keeping in contact, and especially over Christmas. And with me, I see my mum a lot, because obviously she can't get around so much like there. We really get on well. She's got a lovely sense of my mum. So just wondered what other you guys think of what would be a good relationship with family, maybe. Julian?
Okay. Yeah, my family. I see my family on a regular basis, but I'm really close to my mum. But my mum works, so I love both as much, because she works hard. So she's everything. My mum. I see her on a regular basis. She ain't too busy. I go there. Sometimes she works from home. Sometimes she goes into work. But then I need to call my mum, because she's so busy with work. I don't call her as much because she's working, because you've got to pay the bills and that, so you have to be on the ball.
Pay the bills,
Paying the bills.
So with my mum, it's everything. I love my mum. My other family, my father, I have hard to see my dad, so my mum is my priority. I got my mum, I got me, I got everyone there. Going for Christmas, we have a good time, get the family together, sit down, have our Christmas dinner, nice Christmas breakfast. I love that. I eat. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Have for Christmas, eat.
Happy time of Christmas,
That's
basically on the same with me. Your mum, I'm really close to my mum.
Julian getting drunk as well.
Yeah, but
it's
once in a
Christmas.
blue moon, it's Christmas, you know what I mean?
Basically, I'm
Why
like
not?
Julian with the
It's
same. I'm
Christmas.
really
Once in the blue
close.
moon, it's okay. How often do we do it?
Christmas,
Christmas, it's
Christmas once a
okay, it's
year.
alright, yeah. So, yeah.
That's one thing I wanted to.
another
Just wanted to add. I'm really close to my mum. Really close, probably more close because
Yeah.
obviously I've gone through a lot of stuff with my mum. I've not been well, and my mum has been there. I try not to get too emotional.
No, I really admire you.
Because I've been really there for my mum. My mum had a procedure the other weekend. My girlfriend was on the phone to her, and yeah, I got to get emotional.
Right.
Yeah.
I had my mum had
friendly mamas and that. Because I'm really close to my mum because I see her and I'll give her a big hug because I'm older now. I don't bother my mum because she works, you see. So
Cool.
once in a blue moon I talk to my mum, I talk to all the stuff like that because she's working.
Keep working,
So I don't bother her.
Let's open this out. So what's the question again?
It was what is a good relationship with family?
Good relationship with family
Stephen
is
or Esme?
Stephen Esme.
I'm very close to my mum anyway.
It's all about the mums today, isn't it?
Mums are great.
Not bad.
I'm said to be there for each other.
Mum, sister,
all the time.
Of my cousins.
mum, sister. You got my Misha. You got everybody. You got my big cousin John. We sit there. And sometimes my mum would go, let me have a shot, one or two, and yeah.
I met your cousin.
Oh yeah, John Louis, and everybody's the family. This is the time when we all get together for Christmas. Spend time with the family, have a joke, sit down, play some dominoes.
Oh yeah, I love that
Mum
one.
goes,
Oh, snakes and ladders. Oh, it's just one thing I want to do. My auntie.
But there's 264 other days in the year.
I found
where
it.
you play dominoes, the white dominoes. The white with
I
the
think so.
black dots.
Yeah.
My mum, they get this in like a table and put it there, and they're all playing dominoes. I leave my mum to it, and then mum said, "Yeah, I have a shot or two. My cousin will have." Yeah. It's good. I love it.
So mums are number one.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and you mentioned cousins. I know, Stephen, you've got good relationship with cousins and nephews and nieces. So there's the wider family network. Which, I'm not sure. Do we always think about the wider family?
Not so
No,
much.
and I
my
think that again is because I'm looking at it obviously from outside, and also what Achieved Together can do to enable families. And one of the things is to make sure, just a very simple thing, that they know when everybody's birthdays are, and that they help the people. You two probably remember, but other people don't remember. Just basic things like, what do you want to get them for birthday or for Christmas? What do you want? Do you want to make a card? Do you want to send a card? Do you want to make a phone call? Helping them to talk to their family on a regular basis. Not just, I mean, I initiate a weekly call with my son, and we've managed to do, during lockdown, which was really, really good, he's learnt to use Skype, and he was supported to do that, and that was really important because then we could talk when he was in his room rather than on the phone downstairs where the phone cuts out and there are often problems, or there's other people around and you're worried about blocking the phone for an hour or longer, because our record is over 2 hours on the Skype call. We're on Skype call 99 at the moment. We've been counting. But it's that, again, it's that very important role of staff where people are less able, and to make sure that they know who the people are, when the important dates are, to make sure that that is followed through on what do you want to do. Do you want to phone them? Do you want to keep in touch? And not just mum, dad and sister or brother, but sometimes those wider relationships. Again, for my son, his younger cousins are very, very important to him. that's a responsibility for the family, obviously, but also for the staff to then follow through. And again, sadly, that doesn't always happen because of the turmoil and other things. And it's about, especially once mums, because we are the ones who tend to do the orchestrating and the keeping in touch and the doing all the stuff. When mum is no longer able to do that, that is even more crucial that staff take on that role, and that can be really relied upon as being something that is acted on, because otherwise those relationships can break down very easily. And loneliness, you quoted the statistic about loneliness among people with learning disabilities, and with autism that will be even higher. That is then a real danger if those relationships, which are the closest, are not maintained.
What got your thoughts on just the nature of relationships within families? So, because we haven't mentioned fathers yet, but if I look at my situation, so I've got a 14-year-old daughter, so she will go to her mother for some things and come to me for other things. So for me, it's mostly like money, and mum for emotional support. Like she won't come to me for emotional support because I'm not very good with that. So in a support situation, particularly for people who can't articulate the family dynamics, do we need to know what somebody would go to their father for, or the mother for, or their grandparents?
I don't.
Is that level of detail?
No.
I think that would depend on each individual. I think that's
but
something that would need to be talked about with the
don't.
family, so that it's the family and the person being supported who are shaping that. I don't think there can be a hard and fast.
It's having those conversations.
It's having those conversations.
Not sure we always do.
And then making sure that those conversations are acted on, but also as staff change, that information is genuinely passed on, especially if there are differences in how they relate to different people, or problems in the relationships, because not all families are perfect. Well, no family is perfect, but
Well, all families are different, and then
Yes.
you might have parents who are separated, and then with other partners. So all of the family dynamics will be different.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, regular contact is probably good.
And it's my mother's birthday today, so I need to speak to her this evening.
You do.
With me, I went mama, but
you're being
always
black
think
with-
of my mum,
Yes,
my
yes.
father, present or something. With my father, with me, I don't really hassle all that for money, and I just wait till it's been given to me.
Fair enough.
I don't bother because I'm older. I don't beg mum for money or that. I just wait till it's given to me because I'm older. I know if they ain't got it, I respect it. That's it. You know what I mean? With me, I don't hassle people for money in my family. If they've got anything to give to me, I wait till it's been given. I don't bother them and ask.
Cool.
I don't do that. It's respectful, you know? You know what I mean? Because
Can you pass this around?
We're ready for a new question.
Oh,
Brilliant.
a new question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I take
Sheila's
one?
got-
Can I take one?
That's
I'll
what
give it a
you
good
got.
shuffle. What have I got? This is about winning the lot, like lending the lottery, isn't it? Oh, what do you think families want from a social care provider?
Oh, gosh.
Very good. Very good.
I think probably from my own experience and from talking to other parents, communication is important, and we've touched on that, just making sure that they're in touch so that we know what's happening, we know what may or may not be going on, whether our loved ones are well, happy, what they're doing, because we don't always find out. I don't always find out what my son is doing because I'm told that that's secret because I wasn't there when it happened or whatever. So being able to find out if there are any problems. But I think most important are the things that we've been talking about, enabling those activities, giving people a good life in whatever that means, but being involved in activities that they enjoy, having social contact with people, getting out and about, and being fit and healthy. So that we as families who we've spent all our lives up until when somebody went into care or was living in care, we've tended to have to fight, and we do fight a lot for our families, as you were saying, Stephen. But it's about remembering that once we are gone, one of our greatest fears is then what happens if I'm no longer here to be the mum, to do the fighting. And that's scary for most families, that thing of so what we want is trust, communication, reliability, consistency, of providing the young person that or not so young, person that we love, that they have got a good life and that we can rely on that. That's what I think most families want.
Cool. And so you mentioned earlier, Julian, about there's some things that you want to share with your family, your parents. Some things you want to keep private because as an adult that's part of your life.
Yeah, but because if I speak to mum about something, I'll tell her everything. I give it some things I can't tell her.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm an older guy, and if we have a chat, I don't tell her everything. Because my popular's my popular. She's got her life, I've got my life.
So you choose what you share.
I've got my life to live, she's got her life to live. So, because I'm older now, this is what I want. Because I'm in support living, I want to have my own family, That's why I'm hanging out. Because back in them days, I had a tough life back then. I had rough back then when I was young. But now I'm older, more mature, more able to do things myself. Because I don't allow my mum to do that. I don't hassle her. I don't do that. With me, I'm my own man. I do what needs to be done, And
So you got control.
I control
but
myself.
But then there are some people, some people maybe with learning disabilities or autistic people who maybe don't have that level of control or need more support, where it's important to have that family communication and make sure the families are actively involved in decision making. And I think that's that's really important, isn't it? About making sure it's partnership.
Yes, it's very much partnership, but also, like you're saying, Julian, recognising those boundaries, not saying things that you wouldn't want your family to know, but if there's a problem, you might want them to know so that they can help you, and it's that kind of thing, but it's teamwork. It's working with someone.
Nothing's a problem because I'm always looking after. I always keep the nose clean. I don't get in trouble, so I bother my mum. If there's something I need to, I tell her. But apart from that, I don't. I'm a good guy. I don't cause trouble.
Glad to hear it.
I stay out of trouble because when I was younger, I used to get into a lot of trouble. I wasn't good. I was bad. But now I'm older.
You've always been a good guy.
I've been a good guy. I'm very good, but back then that was the part. But now I'm moving forward. I do my own thing. I'm going college next year in January, and I want to do my own art project.
Oh,
I want to do my drawing and that's it. You know what I mean? Everything's going well for me because this is what we're doing is a
You've
good.
got
I
control
love
over
it.
your own life.
Yeah, so I've got friends, family. What else do you want? Man?
get a bit of
Nah,
that,
I mean,
Peter.
you can't get better than that.
I do my own
You
thing. I've
know.
got my finances, I've got my
Yeah.
work, I do my volunteer, I've got a.
Yeah.
new-
But-
Any thoughts, Michael, on the question? Do you remember the question?
Oh,
It's
Shall I
it's
read
been a
it
while
again?
ago now.
What do you think families want from a social care provider?
Do you
Got
know?
a
Which is
thoughts on
why
that?
I was talking very much from my point
Oh,
of view
okay.
as a parent, as a mum. So you've got to try and think about what your mums might want.
Probably.
What in houses?
Well, from what could achieve together, what would your mum or your mums want, or dads want from achieve together? What might they want to either hear or want them to do for you? Because what we want is for you to be happy and safe as parents. And so what do you think we might want from achieve together in making you happy and safe?
I think I want me to be safe, to live a happy life and be able to look after myself, because I want to maybe look after myself better, go on my own and maybe get a job and have my own, maybe a flat, something like that. Mum just wants to know if she can keep in contact with the house, going to call me if I get into trouble or anything, and communicate with her and know that they're reliable, that when she's gone, as you said, Sheila, they can look after me, make me better and help me out and all that. Similar to what you said.
Learning.
Communicate with my mum, let her know, communicate more better with my mum to let her know that I'm okay. If I'm in trouble, is Michael okay? He's not calling me and all that. And yeah, I echo what Celia says in a way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything to add, Stephen?
Yeah, your parents and that want you to be treated with respect and be in a safe environment and staff treat you well. That's what the parents want, isn't it?
And to support that, maybe your mother did some training with the staff, didn't she?
Yeah, did a talk a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I did a video part. Remember the DVD I did? But
Yeah, I haven't seen that for a while. So, yeah, I guess my experience, some of the things that I've seen families wanting is to be valued and listened to and respected as equal partners and not seen as being difficult or because quite often there'd be times when there'd be differences of opinion. So if there are, then it's making sure that families are listened to and so we talk through those differences of opinion in a sensible way. But it's all about working together, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're good.
Next one.
Next one.
Let's see. What is a friend?
What is a friend?
Difficult question.
What is a friend?
off a question.
What is a friend?
The other one's about making friends and keeping friends. This is
What
about
is a friend?
What is it?
what is a friend?
Treat them with respect. If you have a caller or something.
Treat everybody well. For me, I'll start. So because I wrote the questions, didn't I?
It's helpful because having a friend is good.
It's important. Well,
It's
we all need friends.
Because once you get to know them,
Actually, I've written it down here. What is a friend?
One I made
once you
earlier.
get
was
to
the best
know them,
belief.
once you get to know them, you got to see how they are.
Here's what I wrote earlier. So, friends, people who like you. No, let's start again. People who you like and who like you, and you enjoy spending time together, and you're not paid to be together. So, being a friend is spending time with people who maybe share some interests with, and you get on really well with.
Yeah.
You can tolerate each other's little
Like-
quirks.
Like, it's like this friend you say.
And you understand each other, I think.
Understand
as
each
well.
other.
You understand each other, but you say, let me flip more on my phone. Yeah, mate. Would you like to go to the pub or something?
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
got a meal waiting for you to give us. Would you like to come? I put the table between 5 and 6 p.m. So would you like to come along?
Are you paying as well?
I'm paying.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm there. I'm there.
I think you've got to
That's how you make mention that. It's good though.
Something-
Something like that. You know what I
It's
mean?
something I've actually had. June's actually done that. And
I have done that. I
and he
have done
I
that.
said, "You want me to pay this for June?"
I've paid. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, that's it. That's how.
Do you want me to elaborate on the friend bit?
Go on then.
Go on.
Basically, a friend is someone, as you said, having something in common, being able to open up to them, not actually being in a relationship or loving them like really, but having a friend, someone that's going to be there for you, and someone you can open up to, have a lot of things in common, spend time with, chill out together, you know, do what you do in interests and things like basketball, football, like me and Jude have got in a way,
Yeah,
and so the other people have got like as me.
open up.
Open that up to each other, being there.
Something happens, you like
Yeah.
What do you
get
think?
emotional. And they talk to friends to talk
I don't
to.
have no ideas with them.
And what's the matter?
Mhm.
I don't have no
Come
ideas.
in.
Difficult
Let's
one.
go for a walk or something. Talk to me and
So it's not just about. So if when you're going through a tough time,
tough time.
who do you talk to?
Talk
Friends.
to my
Yeah.
or something like that. If I'm upset or something's bothering me, I got a question, I chat to him, we talk, and then if it makes me a cup of coffee, makes me feel better. That's it.
Is there since even when I've needed time to my space,
Yeah.
even I don't
I'll give
even I
him
don't
his
actually have
space.
to tell this guy Julian. He knows when I want space, and so I'm not going to be bothered. And
Yeah.
I won't even say I said Julian. I'm on the phone to him once. I'm thinking, how did you know I need space? Did he tell you? And he said, I know how you roll, Michael. You're my brother. I'm thinking he doesn't even need to be told. Gives me space.
Yeah.
That's so
Every,
sweet.
you know what I'm saying? We like
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to his mum.
Go on,
He speaks to my mum. I'm likes him. What's she call you? Michael. Michael calling you Michael now. What's he called?
Nice job.
No, my mum sometimes speaks to you and calls you
She calls me Toy Boy.
toy boy or my mum when you get so I speak to Julian's mum over Christmas and Marina say, "Oh, I bet how you are." I'm alright, Marina. It's really good what we do.
Yeah,
If you need time
because
So you guys, you got a great connection as
Yeah,
friends,
really have, yeah.
but you know you're able to communicate well with each other through talking, through using your phones, etc. But what about people who can't do that? What about people who?
if they can't do that, if they try, that's a good question.
Some people can't
Some
use
people
speech,
can't do it.
like
Yeah.
verbally communicate.
verbally communicate, or they struggle with that
They
like
struggle.
social interaction.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's where shared activities become very important
See,
because for some people it's not so much
no.
talking to each other but
Yeah.
just being together
Yeah.
that becomes important. And yes, there may be some conversation, and it may be not so much about how you're feeling or what's happening in the world, but about that interest. So lots of people who, for example, are very interested in trains. I know one friend of Edward's who's very, very interested in trains, and he goes to places where other people are very interested in trains and model trains, and they can all happily talk about model trains together for hours. And for him, that's about friendship. It's about talking about that shared interest. It's not about the emotional connection as much,
Yeah.
but just feeling part of a group and accepted in that group. Like you were saying earlier, Esme, about wanting to find a group where you feel comfortable and accepted
And safe and yeah.
and safe, and just able to talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah,
Yes.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
Only in your case, it wouldn't be model trains, probably.
No.
There is
there's one thing.
there's something called this is really sort of focused on people with profound and multiple learning disabilities. There's somebody, a psychologist quite well known in Australia, Sheridan Forster, and she's developed what she calls a hanging out program. So it means that when you are like connecting with somebody with profound disabilities, you use this hanging out program. So essentially what it is like, I'll hang out with this person for 10 minutes on a one-to-one basis. We will just like spend some quality time together, and the person will lead that interaction, or I might initiate something, and then at the end of that 10 minutes I'll note that person's reactions. You know, they might have maybe looked a bit uncomfortable, or they might have smiled, etc. But what you're doing through that is logging the responses to the interactions. But she's just written an article, I know it because it's going into the next PMLD linked journal, and what she put together was what she called a hanging out cafe. So in order to enrich the social lives of people with profound disabilities, she set up this situation in a cafe, inviting people with profound and multiple learning disabilities and other people. And she didn't have any props or anything. She just allowed it to be free-flowing, and allowing people to have interaction in an ordinary cafe, to see what happened. And people had a really lovely time, really good quality social interactions. And it included people who had significant disabilities, who couldn't use speech, and they benefited from the interactions with people who didn't have profound disabilities. So I think if we create more opportunities for people who either really struggle with verbal communication or with social interactions in a really creative way, then we be doing really well. Just creating opportunities for people.
About friends, it occurred to me after what you said, Sheila, and what you, Michael, said about also different parent dynamics, is that there are friends that we spend time with in a party situation or in a social situation, and there are friends that we rely on in difficult situations, and both types of friendships are valuable.
Yeah.
And so the support team probably also needs to be aware who your friends are and what kind of things you feel comfortable or want to do with those people, because everyone has their own strengths.
The boundaries.
Boundaries.
Like there are some friends I wouldn't go for emotional advice to because they're not very good at that. But I would hang out with them, say at a museum or something. But
Yes, friends, different friends,
So
different kinds.
when we have this football situation, that's why they give you numbers. Call me. We need to be here at 4 o'clock. Yeah, this is where to be. I'm at the call. If Marco does it, and they live far. We live far. They live closer. All you need to do
is this football on Thursday?
All you need to get on the bus and meet us at football. And when there's not enough numbers, it's no point playing because there's not enough numbers to play. So don't mind, innit? So because we have 4 to 6, we play 4 to 6. So you make these calls. Come on, 4 to 6. We need some numbers to play. And that bother sometimes. Because it's like.
But if you have less than 4, what happens then? Do you just like meet up in the pub or in the bar?
We go.
Just go home forward.
There's no point hanging about
You
because
can still
it's
kick the ball
cold.
around.
But there's no ball.
If there's no ball, that's a bit of a problem. If there's no ball, that is a big problem.
So what is because it's
Who's got control of the ball? Who's got the ball?
You could pretend to kick the ball. Pretend.
Virtual football.
Good one. But the thing is, when into intermission, it gets cold up there, and we waiting around with no t-shirt, just waiting.
So who's got the ball?
The green has the
green
sometimes because they need to bring their bag with them with the ball.
Yeah, but the green.
Why don't you bring the ball?
I was
My
just going
ball
to say,
got stolen.
ah,
From the.
can't buy a cheap beach ball or something. Or a
Because
cheap
my
basketball.
ball was a proper Premier League football.
Was it?
Oh,
I got stolen.
Yeah, it got
That's
stolen
bad
at
luck.
the ground. Yeah,
that's
Okay.
bad luck.
yeah. So
Right. You need to sort out a spare ball
yeah,
somehow.
so but now me and Michael going off for a while. We made our decision. We're taking a step back from football.
Step back.
Because we've got our family and friends.
You're
that
retiring,
live
aren't
there.
you? Okay,
We're retiring from it for a while. Because
Something you can go back to when you.
when
Yeah.
we're ready.
Let me both ready.
Yeah. But is the World Football match happening next year though?
The what to it?
The World Football match.
Well, hope so. Yeah, we're trying to get it together. Yeah.
We've sort of gone off the question.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Esme, is this the final question?
Yeah. I think it is.
There's one for Esme and one for
Stephen.
Stephen.
Okay. Right. Who would you like your support teams to work with your families
And friends.
and friends?
I think we already covered this one, didn't we?
Shall I choose another one?
Yeah, go.
Sorry.
Should apologise to the camera.
Okay. Hopefully we haven't had this one either. Okay. What's pardon, let me get my. What sort of things do you like doing with your friends and family?
I think we said that, right?
What do you like doing?
We just-
We said that.
Yeah.
No, I said that, no?
No.
I don't think we have. No.
Well, apart from football.
Yeah.
With or without a ball?
Well, one of the things I do with my son that he really enjoys is we travel. So I've got to, the first time I asked him where he wanted to go, it was a special treat for his 18th birthday, because I was giving his sister, who was 16, a special treat. And he said Egypt, at which point I gulped. We went to Egypt, then we've been to Istanbul, Malta, Berlin, Legoland, Isle of Wight, Aberystwyth in Wales, Norfolk and Northumberland, and most recently we went to Mallorca for a week and had a week of adventures, and we have a great time. That's one of the things he really enjoys doing. He likes travelling and going to new places,
Brilliant.
but we have to plan it very carefully, but we do lots of different things.
That's excellent.
Brilliant.
What about you, Esme?
For me, it would be similar. Going away with friends.
Mm-hmm.
Something about it that's like something really magical. Because you're with your friends, you're going abroad, and then you just have the best time ever. Going to the swimming pool
Yeah.
and non-stop eating inclusive food.
Ben.
Because it's obviously including whatever the word is, exclusive. So, yeah, you get to do whatever, really. It's really good. Love it. Love it.
Excellent. Yeah. Stephen?
I forgot the question.
What do you like doing with your family and friends?
I'm not sure really.
Football?
Just like I do that on my own.
You do it on your own. Okay.
Oh,
What do you do at Dragon Cafe?
See friends there.
Mm-hmm. Do you play games when you're there? Because I think you said something about playing different games.
So I do like drama, but I'm not really. I mean, mainly sit in the seat and chat.
yeah.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's good just to sit and chat.
Yeah, sitting and chatting is good.
So, what they've been up to and what I've been up to, and to have a catch up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Me?
I mean, I do.
Mostly revolves around food. think usually going out to somewhere nice to eat, pub or restaurant, going to nice places like National Trust or gigs or something, different things, or just spending time at somebody's house or garden. Barbecues. Yeah, it's mostly food. It used to be food and drink until I stopped drinking alcohol, and so it's mostly
food now.
mostly food. Yeah,
But zero beers are a great invention.
I'm not keen.
Ah,
'Cause then, I'd just rather have soft drink. Yeah.
They're tastier.
What, soft drinks?
Yeah.
I'm a zero beer. Zero beer person.
That's all I can have is zero beer.
I don't
But I've got a group of friends, and every year we go camping for a long weekend in August. We go camping in the same place every time, and it's a very basic campsite. So we pitch up together. It's a campsite where they don't allow too many families, so it's nice and quiet and big open space. But you're allowed a campfire. So we just like go there, so the kids can just like do their own thing during the day, and we can just like chill out. And we go for the same walks every year, and just like it's just the same group of friends, and it's really nice.
Sounds lovely.
I think that's an important thing, certainly for families, isn't it? Those rituals that you have of what you do every year, or when you get together, or birthdays, or
Yeah.
It's like when I go home for Christmas, I always go home on the 23rd,
Do you? Yeah.
2 days before.
sort of settle in.
More predictable. Yeah. Sheila, anything else?
No, I think that's probably enough from me.
Well, we're nearly done then, are we? Or were you going to say something else, Julian?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, sorry?
With me, yeah. I feel like given in a family. My mum booked a table. I put a glass one in the middle. We sit down. Order what you want. I order. Eat as much as you want. Can we go to this place who takes me? I think it was the place again?
Cosmo.
Cosmo. Eat as much as you want. And okay. And then I think I invited Michael and bought his birthday cake. We were sitting down. And I never saw his birthday cake. Coming through the door, I thought, a PlayStation get homemade as well. And when I looked at it, that, and my mother have to control my, certainly, take control. So I came and sit there, we eat as much as you want, and after you all the stuff.
Nice birthday treat.
And then I think my birthday gone, Mum, Nisha, my auntie came, Nisha, my auntie came, my mum, and this cake came through the door. I think it came from Station London. A nice football cake, like proper homemade, and it was nice for my 25th, 45th.
Awesome.
And we had a party, but we had curry goat, Oxford, what else?
Yeah.
Because my parties are big, I put £20 every time, and they build it up. We had a good time, dance, everybody loved the music, joy life. It was fantastic, man.
So
it was good.
it's important, families and friends, celebrate.
I used to go
Yeah, of course, especially when it's Christmas.
Yeah.
I used to go.
When you get
Christmas,
together,
birthdays,
Christmas,
anniversaries.
we chat,
I used to go on holiday
anniversaries,
with
yeah.
mine. I used to go on holiday
And
with
then-
Carol.
And then I went with my friend to Blackpool
Okay.
with the house. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. I went on the tallest roller coaster ever.
That would be
Blackpool. I went on.
with friends.
Yeah, me and Coach went on there. And when I went on this ride, I thought, boy, it's the tallest ever. You know how tall that roller coaster is?
I've seen them, yeah. So that's the sort of experience you want to share with friends
And family.
I'm family.
and family.
Next.
Have you heard of the Supported Loving network? Supported Loving.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Have you?
So they've got a really good website. So this is a bit of a plug for Supported Loving.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
So they've got a website and they've got this Supported Loving toolkit, which covers a whole lot of things around relationships and sexuality. But they've also got some resources about friendships. So it's worth dipping into that just to sort of get some advice, some tips around friendships. Whilst I'm doing a bit of a plug, you might have heard of the Stay Up Late campaign as well.
Yeah, I'm a part of them.
You're part of that. So do you know about gig buddies and
Yes,
sports buddies?
and I do have a gig buddy. Just recently got a new one.
Nice one. So what do you
And
do
we're in
together?
Contact on WhatsApp 24/7 with
Okay.
ideas like we should do this, we should do that. Great.
So another way of sort of like sharing experiences with people who've got similar interests.
Yes.
So check those things out. We done.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done with families and friends for this month's podcast. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good December, good Christmas, good festive period.
Thank you.